I'll permit you to eat your own biscuits that you bought with your money.
Didn't ask. I said I'm just going to eat this last biscuit.
Doesn't matter if you asked. I answered.
Fair enough.
It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time. It's a wonderful waste of time.
Hello and welcome to the 23rd ever. Which, if you Jim Carrey, is an evil number. Ooh.
Oh, is that what the film
That's
is?
what the film was.
And I always think it's like 17 or like
Because
7.
2 divided by 3 equals 0.666 recurring. Well, it's just 0.6 recurring, essentially, but whatever.
Oh.
That was the idea of the film. It wasn't really about that. It was more about a man who went mad because he was obsessed with numbers. That's what it was really about. But yeah.
Cool.
That was the setup.
Wasn't there like a female? Wasn't like a murder or something?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, no, I think I've seen it once and I still don't like. Yeah. Okay, there you
But
go.
welcome to the Jim Carreyest ever episode of the AWWOT. It's not. We're not going to talk about Jim Carrey. Probably.
So that's a really big
This
bit,
isn't like a Jim Carrey special.
There's a lot of
The
terrible
23rd ever episode of the A Wonderful Waste of Time podcast. I was just being referential.
No, but I
Okay.
mean, just you know.
Jeez.
I
Live a
yeah,
little. Take a walk on the
I
wild
don't think I've
side,
got
Lou Reed.
enough Jim Carrey.
You haven't got nothing to say about Jim
Yes.
Carrey. You like The Mask, though.
I like The Mask, but
I like Bruce Almighty.
yeah. And that's Jim Carrey, everyone.
I'm Cross Strayline, and with me, as always, is...
SG.
You said it right
yes,
this time.
Yes,
you know your own name.
I'm so...
You keep saying GS. Damn it! It's the other way around.
GS George Spencer. I don't know why, but that's just
George
like the
Spencer.
only thing that could...
That is your real name, though.
George Spencer. Oh, that's a really
Spencer George. It works both ways.
Are they? Yeah, Spencer's
They're both first names.
Oh, Spencer's like a last name.
Spencer's also a first name.
It's also a first name, but I think
They can both be both.
What, George is his last name?
Aren't names fun? Nah, I suppose not really.
Nah.
This is a version of the podcast where we spin a wheel to decide which one of us is going to talk about a thing, then another wheel to pick a category, then we pick a thing within that category to talk about, and we look a little bit deeper into the things we like, love, and hate.
A lot of spinning.
And we redefine the edge of the box.
Redefine the edge of the box. That's what we do.
That's our main motto.
I mean,
That's the t-shirt.
I think it should be a tagline, really. Redefining. And the box should
It
be
won't
on
make
a
sense to
different
anyone.
edge.
It could be a t-shirt eventually.
Could it?
Yeah, I'd write
Would
that
it
on
have
a
a
t-shirt.
physical box in it?
Yeah, no, like an actual cardboard box
An
would be
actual
taped to the back of the box. Like a tortoise
Sorry.
shell.
Okay,
It's very
the
hard to
image-
sit down.
The image of a box.
It might do. Or a box on fire to show you how much we don't give a fuck about no box.
That's destructive. I think it gives that the wrong message.
But we're redefining it.
Mm.
Shall we
Burning
spin the
it.
wheel and you can make the sounds of boxes?
That's
On
gonna be
fire.
interesting. On fire. What?
Ready? I'm going to spin the wheel to find out which one of us is
Let's
talking
see how it
first. Let's
goes.
go. Go!
These are talking boxes. Oh my god! Oh, fire! Ah!
Holy, what's so flammable?
Oh my god!
Why are we so cardboardy?
The flames going everywhere! Oh, my arm is gone!
Stop.
It just... Okay.
You.
Cool.
And now we shall see which category you'll be
Yeah.
picking from. Go!
Oh no, it's still burning! Oh my god! The flames are going
They
everywhere!
went out for a short second, but now all the fire is back!
Oh my god!
Hopefully it goes out again!
Someone get some water! Can I
Stop.
get some water?
That's okay, they're all safe now.
Okay, cool. Boxes.
You've
Safe.
got comics, books, and manga.
Oh, do you remember what I said?
You remember when you told me that you don't have anything for any of the categories?
No.
Yes, I do remember.
No, not
that.
any of them. But
That was one of the
but
main
that
ones
was
you were
one of the
struggling
ones
for.
where I was like, but I have something for it, and it borders into another one, another category, which is film. And I'm gonna just tip. For everyone, I'm tipping my glasses as I said that.
Is this because you stole the category from... Is this the thing you stole from me?
Stole from you. Hold up.
You had a
hold
similar
up.
thing, and then I said I had the same thing, but for comic books.
Yeah.
And now you've landed on comic books and you're doing that other category and working it in because of what I said.
No, I said I could have worked it in anyways. I said it borders on both anyways. Tipping my glasses again. Yes.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And it's really it's about a book that I've actually talked about.
You want to talk? Yeah, but you can't just talk about that book.
I'm not talking about the book again. I'm talking about that book and other books that have been adapted to film.
You just want to talk about adaptations in general.
Well, in general, but just how much this one pissed me off. This one pissed me off. I felt like a Harry Potter fan. You know, like I remember the first few Harry Potters. There was a lot of aggro about they were getting things in the book wrong. I was like, get the fuck over
I
it.
feel like we were too young for me to be
I
aware of aggro.
I was just ahead of my time. Yeah. And then I fell behind.
You were very angry about Harry Potter.
No, I wasn't. I didn't care. But this is my point. I didn't care because I didn't care that much about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Right? But, you got the odd kind of, this didn't happen, or this character didn't look right, or blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't get it. I was like, come on, it's a good film.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I knew, it was a good film.
Yeah.
Then, this is a film with Inferno, right? Because I knew about
it. You haven't actually said... The book I
want to talk about, I've talked about it before, is Inferno by Dan Brown. Great book. I still stand by it. It's a great book.
Which is the fourth book in the series.
It is.
The third film in the series.
The third book in the series is really good as well, actually.
What's the third one?
The third book is... I always get
this.
Is
the third...
It's... Flip's sake. No, I forgot it.
It doesn't matter. We'll come back to that anyway.
So, Inferno. Right? Book is good, and... One of the things I like about Dan Brown, like I said before, is how descriptive it can be. It gives a really clear image without dragging it too long. It's very descriptive stuff, and it draws you in that way, right? So I think for something like that, you want the film to reflect just the effort is taken to describe the characters.
Yeah.
One character in particular, which really pisses me off, because in the book she's referred to as the silver-haired woman, right? She's the head of WHO, which is the World Health Organization.
Who?
ASO.
Like the band. No. This is what I did to you last time you brought this up.
And
then I started singing Who songs.
This has happened. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, because it didn't get old before. That's a good song.
Tell me who are you?
I like the highs better.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I really want to know.
I'm just going to let this go on for a second. Yeah, go on. I'm going to lose my train of thought. Okay. Right. Gathering.
Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho down to Brighton, I must have played them all. Okay. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall.
Nice.
This deaf, dumb, and blind kid.
Well,
sure played a me pinball.
Okay, go. Yeah, you're on our song. You done.
Yeah. Just for your own warning, it probably won't come up. Who's an easier one to work in? If you ever mention Fleetwood Mac, I will sing Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, cool.
Just be aware.
I'm just going to put that
just
as a
casual warning for everyone.
I doubt I'll ever bring up Fleetwood Mac. So...
Oh, we did it!
No. So anyway, she's referred to in the book as the silver-haired woman. She's the head of the World Health Organization.
Yep.
Which is WHO.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can't help it. Two on a plate.
Cool.
It's a really bad acronym.
I thought so as well. I was like, it makes sense, but come on. Yeah. And in the book, the thing that really annoys me about the way the film does this is because in the book, he references back to how she looks. She's the silver-haired woman, right? And maybe not too much on the physical attributes or the age of the character, but the fact is, she's the silver-haired woman. Yeah. So in the fucking film, what colour hair does she need to have? Tell me, please.
Like a nice auburn.
Fuck off. Right. I think she was a brunette and it pissed me the fuck off.
I get that. I feel like, especially if it's a specific character trait. Because I get annoyed with people when they complain about, like, that's not how I imagined them. It's like, it's a shame that the producers didn't step into your fucking brain and design a person for you.
Exactly.
That really annoys me, and I get people changing, and I get them just casting someone who's good as the role and stuff like that.
Rather than,
I agree with all that. I'd rather have someone good as long as they're playing the part and it makes sense.
Yeah.
But something like that, where they're described as by a specific trait, and especially like an easy one to do, it's not like it would have been hard to have just put a wig on or dyed their hair.
Exactly. Like,
there's a very easy one to have changed.
That's not the worst one. That's just one of the characters.
Go on.
One of the main characters. Now, so that annoyed me. That annoyed me about the film. The fact that they couldn't even stick to that. But the main character,
Professor Langdon.
No, sorry, the
who's
woman, sorry,
who's described in the book as 3 foot tall, and I was like, Tom Hanks. How dare they? I didn't notice in the last two films, but specifically in the fourth book, they definitely mentioned that's how tall he was, and that's when it really got to you.
What did they?
Oh, they said he was definitely 3 foot tall. I've never read the books.
Yeah, I don't think.
I've never read the books. I'm talking about books.
Okay, you are. So. What's her name? So basically, his female counterpart in the I can't remember her name right now.
In Inferno.
Yeah, in Inferno.
The third book, by the way, was called The Lost Symbol.
The Lost Symbol. Oh my god, such a good book as well. I really like that one. I understand why they took out this series. I guess though, it was very. I think maybe it's actually. Maybe they should have done that instead of Inferno.
What's the main story of that? Is it just too similar or something to the other ones?
Oh, the Lost Symbol.
There must be a reason why they chose not to do that.
I think one of it was because the main is it protagonist? He was from the description. That's quite a hard person to cast. He's meant to be this bronze, gladiator kind of figure, tall, and then bold, but then he's able to adapt himself, kind of costumes wise. So I think it was quite interesting. I think that's quite an interesting character.
Bronze, huge, and bald.
He's not.
You've just described The Rock.
What evil?
Casted.
Evil. I'm thinking
The Rock can play evil.
Imagine
he's a lovely man with a heart of gold, but he can play evil.
Imagine a Russian Rock. That's kind of how I see it.
Oh yeah, that would have been a bit. Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it.
I can't see The Rock with a Russian accent and not imagine it being off-putting.
I don't think. No, not really the Russian accent. More like the typical. If we're going for stereotypical looks here.
Oh, that's how he's described as looking specifically.
Yeah, kind of.
I suppose that's a bit weird.
Yeah,
but that's the kind of thing where if you changed it a little bit, I don't think it would have mattered.
No, yeah, that character you could have.
Her name is Sienna.
Sienna, yes.
Sienna Brooks.
Oh, yeah, great. Now it's great character in the book. Loved her in the book. Great backstory in the book as well. Spoiler alert there. So. It's a big spoiler here, but it's too late. She turns out to be working with the bad guy, Dr. Zorbist.
The Beatniks.
Yeah, so
sorry,
Dr. Zorbist, Professor Zorbist, I think it was.
Is he from the future?
Well, he might as well have been actually. The way they describe him in the book, he's very, it's quite. He's a leader in his own field. I think it was something humor, blah blah blah. It was some sort of. I said it in the last one. I remember I actually got it right in the last one, but I can't remember it right now. But anyways, Sienna Brooks...
He's a transhumanist.
Transhumanist, yeah. I knew human was in there somewhere. Yeah. So Sienna, she's described in a book, right, as... When he initially meets her, she's got this lovely locks of, I think it was blonde, they say in the book. But ultimately, she's bald. She wears wigs. Yeah. Right? You don't get that in... the film at all. Yeah,
maybe that's just because it would have been like a weird thing to have worked in and explained in the length of the film.
Because the explanation, because it really brings you back to her character. It explains that she was a child. But in the book, this is done in literally one scene that they did very much skip over in the film. Yeah. So this is the scene where he gets shot at. They're both in the hospital. He gets shot at, and she takes him back to her place. They figure out what they're going to do next, right? In the book, they talk about how he's looking through to go on his emails. Yeah. And then as he's doing this, he just sees a picture of her as a child and then sees some notes of it. And that's how he finds out about her past. That's a really short thing to work in. Yeah. That's literally, you could, in a film, you could do that by him just having a glance and then you zoom into the article or something like that. Yeah. It's a really easy thing to work in. just didn't. And for me, this is an important thing to her backstory because it then explains how that's why she feels isolated because she was a child genius. It explains why she loses her hair because of all the stress of the situation. And then it also explains why she's able to work with someone like Dr. Zorbist because it gives you the background of a child genius who feels lost. And then there's this person who comes and offers her this kind of explanation of, it gives her a reason and it gives her a purpose, right? It's not a dynamic in the film that you should take out. It's not something that is in the story that you can easily take out. Yeah, it's really key to one of the main characters. How did they explain it in the film then? If they didn't, They just she wasn't bold. Nothing. There wasn't. The only backstory that they brought was when they in the book they talk about how she met Zorbist, which is at this hotel, and then they spend a night together and blah blah blah. Yeah, they explained that a little bit. Yeah, but it doesn't give you the depth of the character. It doesn't add to a character the way that backstory would have. In fact, I would have preferred they kept that in rather than the little bit of a love story. Yeah. They could have just said, okay, they've met and blah, blah, blah. Exactly. You don't need to... They've paid... Because they even used that as reoccurring scenes. So it's flashbacks to the night. And it's like, well, you're using up great time for something that... Could have been more interesting. And it's not... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's two things that really annoyed me. Now this is the third and this... I would say as well, just quickly, I as much as I get what you're saying, and that's the thing that they should have kept in, I do think a lot of people complain about how there's so much more detail in the book. Oh yeah, I really think people need to remember films cost money to film and to put out, and people only have a limited attention span in watching stuff, and everyone has different opinions of that. Whereas a book lasts as long as it takes you to read it. Definitely. There's a reason that scenes get cut out. No, I understand that. And that's why in this case that you're talking about, I entirely get it. There was a more interesting version of her backstory. That's what they should have kept in. Exactly. I just mean in a generalised way. No, a lot of people complain about adaptations for that kind of thing. Yeah, no, definitely. I think there is a big thing about, you can be more descriptive in a book. You've got the space for that. Really, on average, you've got hour and 30 minutes in a film. Yeah. You can't put everything in there. I mean, books are 400 to 800 pages. What the hell? But anyways, this is a big one. This one pissed me the fuck off, right? They changed the ending. Yeah. Dude, what the, come on. There's no explanation for you to change the ending. Yeah. You're telling a story, alright? This is like me telling the story of Hitler and telling you that he ended up being the king of the world. I've just changed the story. He travelled to space. Right? He travelled to space and now he's ruling Jupiter. Alright? It's not the story. Is that not what happened? Alright? No, it's not. Right? It may sound interesting, maybe cool, but it's not the story. It's not what especially as someone who's pre-invested. That's a very easy plot for a B movie, though. Yeah, what? Hitler. Oh no, Hitler's come back from space with space Nazis. It'd be like the Nazi zombie film. It would just be like alien, alien Nazis. Zombie films? Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. Dead Snow. Oh my god, it's actually not a bad name. That's the worst thing about that. I heard it wasn't very good though. No, I can't imagine that being good. But not in a good way. No. Yeah, some shit films are great. Oh hell yeah, they are. Yeah, sure. You're talking as someone who clearly hasn't heard the idea for the film The Ginger Dead Man. Oh my god, which I'm yet to watch and desperate to watch. What's the plot? Picture the scene. Go on. Gary Busey. Yeah. Plays a killer gingerbread man. Why? Because they baked in all the evil. I don't know all the actual, entire plot of it. But basically, the film is Gary Busey as a gingerbread man who kills people. Oh. What the fuck more do you want in your life? You're telling me that doesn't sound like a really good, bad movie? It sounds like a good waste of an hour or so. Hell yeah, it does. Talking about actors doing things, one of my favourite scenes in any film is in Super, and it's Kevin Bacon making eggs and bacon, and it's fucking genius. Just for the reference. Just for the reference. Just for the reference. And it's that's not an accident. It's a good film as well. That has one of my favourite scenes as well, but for an entirely different reason. What, for the very awkward sex scene, I think is one of the best sex scenes that's ever been in anything. But entirely because of that reason. Yeah. Well, anyway, back to Inferno, right? So they changed the ending, right? And this is going to be a big spoiler, so,
Yeah.
Cover your ears. Don't cover your ears. You're gonna miss it.
Watch your buns.
Whoa.
Spoiler alert, watch your buns.
Spoiler alert.
Space Hitler's coming, watch your buns.
Get it? Spoiler alert, because you soiling yourself.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Don't shoot yourself. Spoilers are coming.
Alright, so basically, the ending in the book, you find out that Sienna wasn't trying to help Zorbist. She actually doesn't agree. She agrees with what he wanted to do, but not with his tactics. Not with his way of doing it.
So she is also a transhumanist.
She's a
but
transhumanist,
she doesn't agree with what he's doing.
She doesn't agree.
She agrees with his ideology.
She very much agrees with his ideology. She very much agrees that something needed to be done. And I think more so what she didn't agree was he'd done it off his own back.
I may have just suddenly remembered the plot of Inferno. Is this the one where it's putting some kind of disease out that stops certain people from reproducing to thin out the population because there are too many people and we're destroying the world?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So she definitely agreed with the whole humans are overpopulating the world and we are basically a virus in it.
Yeah.
But she just didn't agree with the whole not having an option to solve it kind of thing. He just
she's more of a we should tell people about this and then some people should opt out of having kids.
Exactly. So what you found out in the book is she's gone to Turkey to actually stop his bag from but what he's done is he's left a disease in
the virus
decomposing container. Yeah, he's left it in some water can.
You don't need to explain too much detail. Yeah, cool. There's a bag. The virus is in it.
Yeah, virus is in it. Right. They think she's gone to go open it. She's gone to stop it from opening, right? This is key. And then at the end of the book, she actually ends up working with the World Health Organization because they realise she's also such a genius and blah, 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 right?
She teams back up with Roger Daltrey.
Yeah. Who? Okay.
Pete Townsend.
Okay.
Keith Moon.
Right.
And the Ox.
You fucking arsehole. I was just like, who? It's like, yeah, exactly. But right, in the film, she's gone to Turkey to open his bag.
Oh. So in the film, they're just like, no, she passed.
Exactly. To open his bag. And then she doesn't work with the health organisation after. They absolutely tarnished her character. Yeah. Absolutely paid no respect to what it pisses me off. Like, because it's not even like, oh, let's just switch up a little, keep it interesting for someone who hasn't seen it, or, you know, if you've read the book. They've just changed who she was.
To just flip it round. Because especially since the double turn in it is kind of much better as well. It does feel like, from what you're saying, they've taken out a lot of the more interesting.
They have. They've made it just They made it a very bland. Oh, there's the villain. Here's a good guy. Oh, she infiltrated a bit. They didn't give the depth of the character, which makes it so interesting. This is, I mean, like, a good villain has a story. A good villain isn't just a bad guy. It's someone who's had to be bad for a reason, or who's taken action and they believe truly that, you know, they're doing the world. That's the depth.
You don't need everything so clear cut.
Yeah.
You can't just go, here's Space Hitler. And on the other hand, here's future President The Rock 2020.
He's running.
It's
happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
They can't just fight. You need to have something that you find out. If in the book you found out that The Rock was actually from Jupiter and he brings all the aliens back on side, you can't then make a film about that and go, oh no, he's not. He's just a mortal man.
Yeah, and he's going to kill all the aliens.
And all the aliens are just bad guys. That's not as interesting.
It's not.
You've left out the juicy Jupiter bit.
Yeah.
Juicy Jupiter.
So in that instance, I very much felt like a Harry Potter fan, basically. And it's a shame because some books are done really well.
Yeah.
Fight Club is the example I'm going to give, because
that does cut out a lot.
It does, but
it picks out stuff that makes a coherent film. So it's well cut down.
And even with that, it sticks true to the character. Like, so, okay, sometimes it's hard to stick true to the story because you say, you're limited amount of time, things may have to be cut. But the one thing you can do, especially when the writer is really taking effort, is you can stick true to the character.
Yeah.
This is why you go through casting. You can cast someone that looks like what they've said.
Yeah.
Or you can cast someone similar and know that you can adapt them to the character. And that's all you got to do. That's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
In comparison to the other side of it. But
Yeah,
there.
I do think like there are definitely details that you can skip out on things, and you get why they do it. And I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm thinking of like in the series Dexter.
Yeah.
So in the books, just a little thing. So the show is different from the books.
Yeah.
Like I think it's only the first 4 books are the first 3 books of the first 3 series.
Okay.
That mashed up, and then after that it's all just entirely new stuff. Because he was still writing the next book, I think. Either way, the little detail I was going to say is, in the books he wears a mask. So there's all this description of him wearing the mask, and I think it's made of silk from memory. And he says about what it feels like putting on the mask, and that's his kill mask.
Okay.
And then that's when the Dark Passenger takes over, is when he puts the mask on and stuff like that. And they didn't do that in the TV show. And it's an interesting detail, but they left it out because you don't want to see a man in a mask kill loads of people. You want to see Michael C. Hall, who is incredibly charming, kill loads of people. That's why the TV show works. Because visually you needed that change to see his emotion and his expression. If he was in a mask the whole time, you wouldn't have been as likeable.
It shots you away from a lot.
So there are definitely things that work better in books than they work in TV shows or films. There's even like... You couldn't do like direct things from stuff because the way that you interpret them is different. In comic books, you often get things where a character talks and you don't know who it is because it's a speech bubble. Whereas if they did the exact same thing in a film, you'd know who it was because you recognise their voice.
Yeah.
So you can't always do that kind of thing. And there's a lot of things that have unnecessary details. The Scott Pilgrim film is rather different from the books.
Yeah.
But it has the whole general vibe and the main arc of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of side stuff that they left out that maybe wasn't necessary, maybe would have been interesting, and a lot of the fans would be like, but I liked that. It would have been good if you put that in. But it still feels like you know that from the books, so that still applies. I think what you shouldn't do is turn away from that thing. Unless you're saying this is completely different canon.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do a thing from it, you can't then go, oh, that's definitely not a thing. Like, in the Scott Pilgrim books, in the comics, Stephen who plays the guitar, I think his name's Stephen, I might be wrong. So the guy that plays the guitar in the band, the singer, in the books, there's a lot of stuff about them all dating and stuff like that, and like who... trying to find out why hasn't he got a girlfriend and stuff like that. And at the end of the book, right at the very end, after everything's gone down, he's like, oh, this is my boyfriend. And there's a lot of people like, oh, but that would have been good in the film. Why didn't you have that at the end of it? And it's like, he can still be that. They didn't do anything against that. He doesn't explicitly say in the film, like, I only like women. It's just like, you know that. That's just a character trait that you get to be involved in because you've looked deeper into the story. But something like the film you're talking about, when they just go, oh no, she was the bad guy. It's just like, well, that's just shit.
Yeah.
That's just taken away from it completely.
Exactly. Actually
you're like besmirching the character by changing the story.
And do you know what it is?
And for no reason as well.
I probably wouldn't be as annoyed if the film wasn't so shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, watch the film to, form your own judgment, but it doesn't do the book any justice. Like, and you know this, like, you can read a book and be like, oh, this visually is doing well for me. It's really cool.
Which is weird as well, because all 3 of the films are Ron Howard. But the third one definitely isn't as interesting visually. Angels and Demons is really visually quite good. Well, Da Vinci Code wasn't much either, but Angels and Demons had something about it that was like everything looks kind of interesting.
Well,
I suppose it's not all necessarily him, it's production and lots of other different departments, but
even the places they shot,
weird.
Because they chose very iconic places.
Yeah.
The landscape was great.
Yeah.
Whereas in the book for Inferno, he went through a lot of great landscape. Like it was based from Italy to they had scenes in America. There were a lot of opportunities to really mess with the landscape and present it quite.
Yeah.
Because in the book it had this kind of magical feel, the way they talked about the cathedrals and all that, and it's just like the film just didn't. I feel like the visual details lacked a lot in that film. A lot. And the film kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Just a bit bland. I remember seeing it and thinking just, meh.
I feel like they gave up. I really do.
I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the films.
I like the first two.
I prefer the second one, the Vatican.
Yeah, that's really interesting as well.
I prefer that out of the three of them, but I was never super into them. I like that kind of film though.
Yeah.
So I was surprised I didn't like it that much.
Yeah.
I'm still definitely pro National Treasure over Da Vinci Code. Nick Cage. Nick Cage is just more charming.
Okay, I mean, yeah, no.
Do you not like National Treasure? They are, but they've still got this both same thing of, oh, it's history, but what if this? And there's all these secret codings in the history. That's what the Da Vinci Code is, anyway. I don't know about Inferno. Still got that as well. The has like the scroll that's like a torch that uses to see the painting of the circles of hell.
Done, and stuff but what they've done is just reference. It's rather.
I suppose more so. Da Vinci Code was more like that, though. Yeah, it was more like there's a conspiracy and the paintings.
Yeah, of course.
I suppose more so than the other two.
Even Angels and Demons a little bit.
Yeah,
because
less. Yeah, I suppose Inferno definitely less so than Inferno. Yeah, Inferno, maybe that's why you didn't like it as much. I think that's part of what makes the first two interesting. Because I feel like the third one was just an action film where he was a historian.
Well, you know what? The book, it reads so well for as an historical kind of, it brings a lot out.
That's what I'm saying. There is less of that in the film. Yeah. I don't remember much of the history stuff in the film other than that one scene that I was saying about.
Yeah. And they had the opportunities to. They really did. Yeah. They really did. So, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're going to adapt something, guys, if you're putting your fortune into adaptations, guys, don't dick around.
I mean, yeah.
That's what there is to take away from this. If you're a multi-millionaire listening to this, making your adaptations, don't
do it if you're going to do it well.
Do it, but either establish that it's a different thing, or
stick to
it and just leave out some details. Don't turn against them.
Or make an epic film and make it about 3 hours long and put everything in it.
No.
But then you have to put everything in it.
Nah.
Why?
Because there's every detail from a book. Ain't a 3-hour film. That's like 3 series of a television show.
True. True. A really long film then.
Maybe like 24-hour-long episodes to be one series.
Really?
Yeah. Every detail in a book. That'd take up quite a lot of airtime. You said every detail.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, a scene like, if it's writing he's walked down the road.
Yeah, see him walk down the road.
Well, you don't have to see the whole fucking way. It's a really long road.
Here's another tip. If you're a writer, never write he walks down the road and have him not do anything. No. Never just walk down the road.
Never just be
there needs to be a purpose.
And probably describe the road a little bit.
Did you ever see the...
and how he's walking.
Did you ever see the Denzel film, I think it was called Out of Time?
Yeah.
A lot of him walking down the road explaining stuff. It's like, you could be explaining this somewhere far more interesting. It's just like a murder thing. It wasn't very good. I saw it a very long time ago. But I remember that being a problem with it.
Was it that he could look into the past?
No, that's Deja Vu you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Which is a much more interesting film. And that's it for this section. There's going to be a little tiny sting of music ad break. Well, it's not an ad break, there are no ads.
This thing sounds painful.
It's just a little bit of music, and then we'll be right back. See you in a second.
It's a wonderful waste of time.
And welcome back.
What?
Wow, that was such a long 2 seconds. I definitely need to telegraph it as much as I do. One day we'll have sponsors and it will have been worth the telegraphing. But it hasn't happened.
Telegraph.
I keep going, there's going to be a break in a second. Watch out for the break, watch your buns. And then it's literally like, where's Dev Tam? And then it comes back.
Whoa.
It's literally nothing. But that would be where there were sponsors if someone was willing to pay us money.
Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Wink, wonk. Give us some sponsors.
Wink, wonk sounds a little bit weird.
That's how I wink. Wink, wonk.
That's...
Imagine it with the eyebrows going one at a time. The eyes going one at a time.
Go on.
Wink, wonk.
No, you can't do it. You can't isolate your eyes.
Wink, Onk.
Oh, it looks weird when you
Onk.
try.
Onk.
You proper like flick what you
Onk,
feel
onk.
like. Okay, it's weird now.
Onk, onk.
Do you ever feel like you can like mess with your face so much it's just stuck in a contortion?
No, that's an old wives' tale.
Why
Why are these old wives always telling these tales?
What, men don't gossip as well? Men don't.
It's
share
specifically
tales?
old ladies
Wow.
that make up these specific stories.
You're the misogynist pig.
These young men's tales.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to call them from now on.
Yeah, these young men tales.
Do you want to do the mutters of a young man's tale while I spin the wheel to find out who's talking next?
Cool.
Just make up a strange thing, but do it in a young man's voice.
Okay.
Go.
So one day I was I don't know what.
I don't want a full fucking story. Settle down.
Oh.
I just meant something like if the wind changes, your face will stay that way. That kind of bullshit. But as a young man,
my mama told me.
There we go. Do it like a 10-year-old.
My mama told me that if and she told me this in a really good way. She said if you ever find yourself stuck in the mud,
and we'll find out what the rest of it is. But it's you talking again.
Okay, cool.
So we'll find out what topic is and what this little boy has to say. Go.
If you ever stuck in the mud, what you should do, you should make sure you hold your breath because you go sink.
If you hold your breath, you float.
Oh no!
You float on the mud.
You gonna drown, but at least you can hold your breath.
You get a little bit longer.
Yeah. My mama was a morbid person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mama sounds pretty fucked up. Stop. Films.
Oh. Well, I was going to talk about films adapted to books.
Let's just do it the other way around.
Yeah, we just.
What about the novelisation of the film Avatar? Let's all read that.
You know what?
Or perhaps I'll bang my head against the wall.
This is hilarious you mentioned Avatar.
Please tell me that's not what you want to talk about.
I was going to talk about Avatar.
In a positive way or a negative way?
It depends how you see it, right? So we're talking about the same Avatar with the blue people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You know, obviously.
No, Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, exactly.
Which apparently he's making a sequel to.
Really?
As a film.
They've done well enough to make a sequel?
Yeah, totally. So someone's willing to give him money to make a second one of that.
Wow, okay. Good luck. No, so what I want to talk about was, you get films, right? And you watch them not in the cinema. You watch them on the TV. And, you're just enjoying on your laptop or all the other devices you can now watch a film on, right?
On the go.
Yeah.
On a plane.
Yeah,
on a train.
Yeah. Anyway, on a car. Not on a car, in a car.
No, on a car. I like to sit on the roof.
Right around the roof, yeah.
Yeah, I
just like...
get a roof rack, bungee cord myself in.
Jesus.
Head on down that highway.
Wow. Wow, that sounds cool, actually.
Yeah, sounds like
you
fun.
can put like a little deck chair on top of
Good
your car.
afternoon.
And
It's very hard to hear the audio of the film.
Yeah,
because I do not wear headphones.
The wind, you don't wear headphones.
No.
You just turn it up as loud as possible.
What? Film!
Like literally, when that motorbike squad goes past, that's a good 10 minutes of the film. You got to rewind. That's terrible. Well, cool. So we just figured out: don't watch a film on your bonnet without headphones.
I wasn't on the bonnet. That's dangerous. You'd be blocking
the
the windshield.
Yeah.
They won't be able to
you
see
where
where
you're going. That's
on the roof.
Yeah, unless you've got like a self-driving car, then you can do what the fuck you
living
want.
in the
really.
future.
Yeah, well, we do live in the future.
Technically, no. Technically, we live in the present. And we always have and always will live
but here's the thing.
Currently
in the present.
Here's
the thing though, when someone's just listened to this and I've just said, we live in the future, they do live in the future. Because they're going to listen to this.
They live in the future compared to us saying it now.
And that's all I can ask for.
That's not what that means. Go on with your point.
So my point is, you're watching a film, right? And
See.
you get in the back of your head, right?
See.
And you think, this film was only made for the big screen. This film was only made for either 3D, and this is
a visual popcorn film.
Yeah, right. And there's two films that, and there's a lot of films that I feel tick this box, but there's two that I want to talk about. Right, the first is Avatar. Right,
James Cameron. Jimmy Cam, as I call him.
Yeah, okay, by James Cameron. I don't think And it was, you remember when Avatar came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was held like,
oh, it was a spectacle.
magnificent. It's just amazing.
Oh, it's gonna blow your little minds. They said
it's a visual masterpiece. It's the future of cinema. You know, whatever.
Can I say one thing for it?
Go on.
It is visually the 3D, the graphics, very good.
Yeah.
Shit
okay,
film.
cool. Thank you. And this is what I'm talking about. That film was only made to look nice.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't made like
it was like a very long demo reel for 3D as a film experience.
I never got why people were into this thing.
Yeah.
I was like, because even for me, like, I wear glasses half the time. So to really enjoy a film, usually, if I go to cinema and I'm watching a film I really want to see, I bring my glasses. Yeah. You know, it's just a thing. Right, 3D fucks with my eyes, man. Yeah. It fucks with my eyes. So really, for me, anyways, 3D is not a big thing. Like, even my TV back at home. Like,
I'm not a fan of 3D anyway. No, I think it's gimmicky.
Yeah, I've got 3D TV. I've used 3D once. I don't think it adds a
lot to film.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Like, and the first 2 times, this is pretty cool. Bored now. Right, literally.
It should be saved for like theme parks. You know, when they have like 4D. That should be it, because it's just like a exactly. I saw a thing and it smelled weird. Yeah, and it's just like that's it.
Oh, this thing that was in there came at me. That's cool, but that's what Avatar was. Avatar was, oh look, you can do this. Things can come out of here, and like, I think they cheated a bit with the visuals as well, because they used really blue, green. That's a lot of like, they use prime colours in this, you know, like
they really made the colours pop in that.
Yeah, they really, but you know.
There's a lot of good graphic stuff in there, especially like the light sources, like the luminescence of like plants and stuff like that. It was really cool.
It was really cool, but it was literally made to just look nice. It wasn't like I couldn't sit back and tell you the full story of Avatar and be like, I really enjoyed that film like that. You know,
I could, because it's short and a piece of piss.
Oh, what I was in that, you know.
Here's the plot of a film.
Yeah.
There's a planet. Yeah. There's a thing that's on it that they want. It's unobtainable. It's so unobtainable. It's called unobtainium. The worst piece of writing that's ever occurred. Soldiers go to planet, find out there's other people there, kill people to accomplish getting the thing. Other people, not fans of being killed.
Yeah.
Film.
Yeah. It's basically...
As many people have pointed out, it's also the exact same plot as Dances with Wolves.
And Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
Anything that involves any colonial action.
Yeah,
really.
That's what it is. It's colonialism.
Yeah.
It's not even like, let's go over, there's some land. It's just, there's a thing, let's take it.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah, that's about it. And
also, he's been planning to do 2 more of them forever.
He's been planning
apparently is still going to do 3 more of them.
Wow.
What? Cool. Just so that the 4th Avatar can be Forvatar. That's probably why he wants to do 4 of them, just so
he's not going to write the A as a 4.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't know that he is, but I really hope he does.
It's like
that's a real nail in the coffin.
No, that's when we've given up now.
That's when you're like, Jimmy Cam, no more money for you. Forvatar,
you can't be allowed to get this going anymore. So yeah, I mean, like, that was, and I was disappointed in that. But here's one that, and people already say this as well, so, you know, mostly because this is, I think it's the director of the first 2. So, Transformers?
Yeah.
And it was
Michael Bay.
Yeah. And, you know, people always about Michael Bay.
Boom, boom, bang, bang, man.
Yeah. The explosions, right? Mm-hmm. And I think for some films, explosions still work, you know, and there's, you know, it makes sense in some films.
In most films, though, they're a bit more timely.
Yeah, okay. They don't just pop out and, you know, they don't just...
Yeah, Transformers is just like a blur of CGI.
Yeah, and that's... I'll get to Transformers. The first one was good. The first one was alright. The one with Bumblebee. You know, like, Bumblebee made that film for me because he was a character. You know, it was something likeable, but it wasn't the Optimus Prime coldness.
Yeah, I liked that it wasn't like, here's Optimus Prime. It was like, we'll get there eventually. Yeah. It was like, here's one that can be your new favourite.
Yeah.
I liked that about the setup of it.
And it had that kind of introduction story, so it gives you a little something, right? Everyone after that, it's just big robots, big explosions, and you can't...
Oh, and the second one has got some things to it There are some really gross things in it.
Like the robot, that's the woman. Is that the second one?
No, I don't remember that.
When he's in his dorm room.
Oh, no, I think that's the third one.
Oh, okay.
Why have I seen so many of them? No, I meant in the second one, the fact that they were like, oh, we need some comedy element to it. Let's put 2 really stereotypical black guys as robots in it.
Yeah.
That was really weird and horrible.
Well, you know, it's Hollywood.
It was uncomfortable.
It's Hollywood. Hollywood exploiting stereotypes? No.
It's okay. We could do black stereotypes because they're robots.
Yeah, and it's
one's green, one's
the
red.
1970s. Like, come on, they did this in the 70s. They did this in the 70s.
But yeah, how do you get away with that just because it's robots?
Yeah,
but they are definitely like just popcorny films. It is
they're really.
It's just
here's the thing.
Let's go and consume the film.
It's not even so much more the popcorn films because. No, as in they are just popcorn films because you get big films that are great in the cinema,
That's
but you
the
can
difference
enjoy
between like a good film, a blockbuster, and a popcorn film.
Okay,
a good film is a good film. There's no arguments. That's just you really like that film. A blockbuster means it made a lot of money, and a popcorn film means it was made entirely to sell tickets. Whether or not it makes shitloads of money, the idea is to try to be a blockbuster. It's not like this made loads of money because it's a good film. It's this made lots of money because we told you you're going to make lots of money. You're going to come and see this film. Here's like the most baseline action film for you to come and eat popcorn and stare at a screen and turn your brain off for a little bit, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's fine to make films for you to switch off and just go and watch some things happen. But I think they're really bad.
I think the thing is here because you said action films, and I wanted to because I really like action.
It
films.
Is mostly
It's
mostly action films that end up being popcorn films.
Yeah,
it's not always, but it is mostly a lot of rom-coms are often popcorn films. But they don't bring in the same kind of mass audiences.
Yeah.
So action films tend to be for everyone. Yeah. And they've got a romantic element and they've got a comedy element. Whereas if it's a rom-com, this is just a rom-com. If you don't like rom-coms, you're probably not going to see it.
So here's the thing, right?
But there are a lot of like the equivalent of what in video games is referred to as shovelware. So on the Wii, the Nintendo Wii, there are a lot of games that are called shovelware because they're just like, here's a game. It's cheap. Buy a game. It's cheap shit. It might as well be an app game, but spend £10 on it. Here's a shit game. Companies that didn't know how to make games, just making games because it was so easy to bring out a thing on a Wii. That's what shovelware is, and the same thing happens with rom-coms, particularly in films where they're just like, here's just there's people, they're awkward and then they love each other. Here's a poster, it looks like all the other posters. It's got a white background, some red writing, and 2 people standing on it wearing black and white clothing. Film.
Yeah.
Good version of that, though. Have you ever seen the film Proposal?
The Proposal.
The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. Has all of the hallmarks of like very shit rom-com film. Actually pretty decent. I enjoyed that one.
You know what? I don't mind rom-coms half the time. I think they're actually alright. I like British ones mostly.
Yeah. I'm not against a rom-com.
No.
I just think there are so many just like trashy attempts at forcing them out.
Before I get back to it, action movies, right? Yeah. So, there are some action movies that are great in the cinema.
Yeah.
But they are also really they're still action films in a sense where you can kind of just have them in the background and don't have to pay too much attention to them. But you can still enjoy them as much on a smaller screen or without having to be as visually.
There are some magnificent action films.
Yeah.
Action films should not be considered a thing of just like, oh, this is just stupid fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Things.
Exactly.
There are great versions of it, especially like Die Hard.
This is exactly what I was going to say.
The perfect version of an action film. Yeah. And it's not really an action film because it's like a stealth film. It's not a shooty bang bang. It's more just like he's a very tactical fighter.
Yeah.
That's why it's enthralling.
But the second one's a bit more bang bang.
But you could watch that anyway. You could watch that on like a fucking old shitty phone and it would still be good because it's a good film. It's a well-made film. That's a blockbuster film, not a popcorn film. That made money because it's a good film.
Because it's a good film.
Not because it was like, blah.
It's mind dump of, Okay. Yeah. What else? What else is there? I'm trying to think of
There's plenty of action films. That
No, but okay. So like, say the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
There's one particular. I think Avengers you can enjoy anyway, but there's
Yeah.
one particular scene that, and it's one of my favorite scenes. But this is only for cinema. I believe I only got the same feel for it, the same kind of, and it's not just because I watched it the first time in the cinema. It's just because this is how I see it. The bit where the Hulk goes on a rampage and it's like he's just basically climbing up the building and he's just messing up aliens and just going up. That is so good.
Is this in the first one? Is this the shot where it pans through all of them?
This is
that like there's a really long it's not really long, but it's just like a long take that goes across all of them while they're fighting, and it just like pans over, and then the next one comes in, and then you follow him for a little bit, and then the next person comes in. That's really good. I do think the Avengers is a film that holds up quite a lot at home.
Yeah. But it's got all the traits of just a big, action fest and bangs but there's elements to it that means you can enjoy it outside of, because like the bit of the Hulk, right? They really pay. I don't know. They do something more with the characters. It's not just we're gonna make them look a certain way and it's really cool. It's like no, we're gonna really bring out the attributes. We're gonna really do something special with them. Where it's not you can look at them and it's nice. It's like actually that makes sense. There's a little something about the way you've used that character has got me excited. Yeah. Rather than an Avatar is they look really nice. They're in 3D and it's like
I feel like what's partly missing that I think is in Avengers is that when I watch the Avengers film, it feels like someone cares about the characters who's making it. Yeah. Whereas in like Transformers, it feels like they just wanted to make robots
that look cool, kind of thing.
It feels like it was that first, and not like plot or anything like that. Yeah. It doesn't feel like somebody came up with a whole film. Most like really good films, it feels like the whole film just happened to someone. Like they just went, all of this thing is going to be it. And obviously a lot of people work on it, but it feels like there was a vision for it. Whereas Transformers does just feel like CGI robots, let's watch them fight. I think the same thing with Avatar, where it feels like maybe he had like these visual ideas but didn't really have as much of the other stuff. No. Because the story just feels like a bit cobbled together for the sake of like this idea of these really pretty tall blue people. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like that came first.
Exactly, rather than the actual story of it, and
to give a good counter to that, like all of the Alien films are better than Avatar. Yeah. Even the worst Alien film is better than Avatar because it feels like there's more of a lore and a sense of the people involved in it.
Yeah. I think Alien's quite a different game. Different
no, I know, but just in the idea of like of sci-fi and a look to the world and stuff Planet like Apes. That. Yeah,
Planet Apes. I think that's maybe a little bit similar. Yeah, but the early Planet of the Apes, right? Yeah. Obviously, the new ones is more CGI, or what was this more? What's
the old ones are VFX, like visual makeup.
Yeah, but what's the
visual
name?
Makeup?
What's the name?
Effects makeup.
What's the name of the one they do now? It's a specific name of it because it's that guy who does Gollum.
Motion capture.
Yeah, motion caption. Yeah. So now it's more motion caption with CGI, but obviously before it was just basically costumes, right? Yeah. But you can still appreciate those. You can still appreciate those visually because there was. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the original Planet of the Apes. Don't get me twisted, but there was something to the characters. Yeah. It wasn't just these are just we're gonna put suits on them and it's gonna work.
This is actually a better example of what I was trying to say before. It felt like there was a story and CGI was going to aid it.
Yeah.
There was some CGI. We've got to work out a story.
You know what?
That's how I feel watching Avatar. Yeah. Especially I watched it in the cinema in 3D. I didn't like it. I didn't like the story. I did think it looked good. There are some scenes of it that look good because of the CGI. Yeah. And they were all scenes that were almost entirely CGI. And then when I first heard about someone buying it on DVD or whatever, I was like, why? It's not going to be any good. Like, you've watched the best possible version of it. You've literally
seen the best.
It existed. Thank you. It existed for the 3D. There's no hidden details. Yeah. This isn't like a really good film. We talk about Fight Club quite a lot because it's my favourite film. You see Fight Club at the cinema, which I didn't because it came out when I was like 2. Yeah. then if you bring it home, you watch it again. There's
You
little
get more
details
from
you'll
it,
pick up.
yeah.
You'll pick up more. The cinema isn't the best version of it because there's so much to explore in it. There isn't a best version of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Avatar is about the 3D. The only thing that's good about it is the 3D and stuff like that. And people won awards for stuff, and it's like, just hand all the awards to the effects team.
Yeah, literally.
They're the only people
They're
that
the only
did anything
people-
that was
thank
interesting
fucking
about
God.
that film.
Yeah.
They deserved far more of the money
Yeah.
than
But I think you got
Jim
a nutshell
Cameron.
with that whole, you know...
Jimmy
there's-
Cam, that's what it's called him. Not
Jimmy Cam.
Not Jim Cameron. Jimmy Cam.
Jim Cameron. Sounds a little bit...
a bit,
Is he Australian?
No.
Oh, then just
it's
rude.
more like
It would be more rude.
Chim, true.
But yeah, nutshell with the fact that it's not they had CGI and then they put a story behind it. It's, you know, they had a story they wanted to put some, and that's the issue. Avatar and Transformers was very driven on the visual aspect rather than being a good film. Shame.
Yes.
Big shame.
Especially since, like, I feel like Transformers is such a big franchise to begin with. There was so much that they could have done with it that wasn't what they did with it.
Yeah.
I know you're saying you like the first one, but do you not think that in general there are far too many humans involved in the Transformers films?
Yeah,
Like, it is a
considering
film
there
of-
was...
As much as what I don't like about it is that it's just robots fighting,
Yeah.
you know what's really missing about it? Just robots fighting. Because it is literally just... They just show up and fight and then just
the
kind
guys
of
are
out
still-
of it.
Yeah.
And it feels like, why isn't this just about the robots?
You know what's a shame about
And
this,
you get a bit of their other stuff that they do.
There
and all
is-
the fighting's too up close and like how people fight.
Yeah.
None of them seem to fight like robots.
shooting weapons all the
Yeah.
time. You know what?
It feels like they all need to like be further away from each other.
Yeah. Did you watch the cartoons, Transformers cartoons?
I'm not like a huge fan, but
I used to really
when I
like-
was a kid I used to
Yeah,
watch
so I
them.
used to really like them, and I remember there was actually a series of them that was based at their homes, kind of that they had referenced.
That's
a lot
the one
back
that
to
I
our planet.
remember.
And it's a shame that they haven't really.
I was trying to remember
brought
the
that
name of
out.
their planet, and I nearly said Voltron, which is just another series with a similar look to it. I can't remember where they're from.
No, I can't.
Wherever the Autobots are from. I can Google that.
You can search that, but it's just a shame that the film, because again, it's going back to, you know, what I was saying earlier about books taking out bits of the character. Cybertron, cool.
There we go.
It's like
Voltron, Cybertron. You
Tron,
see where I went.
all the Trons, but even that, it's taken away from the characters. It's taken away from the fact that, you know, they've got a home city.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot with it, I reckon,
Yeah.
with Transformers, and made it more interesting, because it's alright to have just robots, but give us something interesting further than, they can fight, and, you know, like, I haven't seen a new one, but it's gonna be, I think, a little bit similar to the other one, which is robots were there before, and they had to fight for something in the past on Earth, and it's like, cool, you've done that already.
Yeah.
How about you give me something really, just the robots? Why are the robots on Earth in the first place? Give me that whole story.
Yeah. I think you can change stuff, but you need to really like understand and respect the material.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I'm not sure if he was ever a fan of the films, and it feels like not of the films. Obviously, he made them. I mean, it doesn't feel like he's a fan of the franchise beforehand. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It feels like it's just like a tie-in compared to something like the Deadpool film. Like Ryan Reynolds is supposedly like a huge fan of Deadpool.
Yeah.
And when they first talked about it, because I'm quite a big fan of Deadpool, I really thought I was going to dislike the film.
Yeah.
I was really like, they're going to adapt it, it's going to be shit, they're going to put all the wrong bits into it. And the only thing that made me think maybe this will be alright is that I kept hearing that Ryan Reynolds also really likes Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then one of the things I always like about Deadpool is that he doesn't have a proper origin story. You know that he went into the program because he had cancer, but they tend to change his backstory a lot. Like there's several different versions of his backstory. And in the comics, because he's a bullshitter.
Yeah. So
every history of himself is just him making up a story.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was really cool. And then in the film, they were like, no, this is the backstory. And if you told me that was going to happen before I watched it, I would have been like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, it was fine. It was good. I like the film. Because
I really like
it
the film.
feels like Ryan Reynolds and the people that were working on it with him liked Deadpool.
Yeah.
Whereas
There's a lot
the
of great
Transformers
characters, yeah.
films don't feel like anyone likes Transformers.
Nah.
It feels... Maybe they do. I don't know. They might fucking love it. but it feels like they just like the idea of robots fighting.
Yeah, they don't bring much out from the robots. This is why I like Bumblebee though, because I felt like he actually had the most character out of all of them, and like you got to kind of know him in a sense, you know. But
and to tie in this and what you were talking about earlier, one of my favourite superhero films, X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
Everything about why that works is because of the two things we've been talking about. So it's actually like a perfect way to wrap this up.
Go on.
All right. So it's an adaptation of a comic book.
Yeah.
But you know what's really good about it? It's not a direct adaptation of any part of the comic books. It's like they've taken bits and pieces and made a story. Like a proper story and a really good story with really good actors doing really good bits of parts of the personalities of the characters.
Yeah.
It's not just like, it's Magneto, look at him flinging things around. There's the bit where he's in a bar and there's that really tense scene where he's talking to people and he's this guy that's been in Nazi encampments and he's sitting around with some people who were ex-Nazis.
Yeah.
And it's this really tense scene and you're like, I understand the character so much now because they've taken these bits of the character's lore, changed it like a bit. I don't know how much of it's directly taken from stuff, but it's quite fresh feeling.
Yeah.
And it's quite changed. And it's not just an action movie where it feels like they went, I want to have some mutants that can do all these powers. It feels like, here's a story.
Yeah.
We can add to this by using CGI to make Kevin Bacon fly.
Just as cool.
That's exactly what both of those things should be. That's what an adaptation should be.
Yeah.
It should either be it should always be respectful of the source material, but it should either be trying to be as close to it as it possibly can be, or it should be nothing like it and not dicking around with it.
Yeah. Still pay homage.
I think, personally, it should either just be like, these are the parts of it, but this is a completely different story.
Yeah.
And for action films and having visual effects and stuff like that,
do you know what?
It needs to add to it and not just be the point of it in the first place.
Yeah, I think X-Men's really good for that, actually. As an action film that doesn't overdo the whole, big explosions, whatever.
I do think some of...
No.
Not X-Men in general. X-Men First Class, I think it does it very well.
Well, no, but... Because I think they've got the opportunity to do so. You're dealing with destructive mutants here.
Yeah. They
could have put a lot more damage than what they did. It's obviously some of the Magneto scenes were a bit much, but it's Magneto.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that. I just personally, the Bryan Singer ones, I don't think are as good as X-Men First Class.
That's fair enough.
So the Bryan Singer did 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which were alright. They were quite good for their time. Yeah. Then he did the 2 that came after X-Men First Class as well. But there's nowhere near as much in that I feel like... There are big visual bits in X-Men First Class. There's that bit where Magneto's a kid and he gets really angry and everything in the room crushes and flies across the room. And that's a very CGI visual thing, but it's like... It all makes so much sense to the character. And I feel like a lot of the... I haven't seen Apocalypse... I've seen Days of Future Past.
That's the newest one.
That's not. Apocalypse is the newest one. That's the third one of the second trilogy of them.
Apocalypse?
Days of Future Past is the middle one.
You're right.
And I felt like a lot of that was a lot of like CGI for CGI's sake. It was the one about the Sentinels and stuff like that, which is really... Obviously that had to be CGI.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of it that was just like... Look, there's even like a bit where he moves like a whole stadium and stuff like that, isn't there? Is that in that one? And it's a bit like, that was just the thing that you thought was going to be over dramatic and visually look alright. I don't think it added much to it.
I haven't watched the X-Men film. I thought this is visually been too much, to be fair.
Apocalypse though.
Like, compared to
it is a lot more tasteful, but I do think it's much better done in First Class compared to the rest.
Fair enough.
I just think everything in that adds to the characters.
Rather than just... does the whole...
Even when he's like picking up a warship and stuff like that. He picks up that whole boat in one bit.
When he's got to do the...
where he's trying to fight Sebastian Shaw. That bit.
Oh.
No, you're talking about on the beach. On the one line that he says in Irish. You never noticed that? No. This is the thing that me and 2 of my friends talk about quite a lot. So there's one bit on the beach where... actually, quite a lot on the beach... Michael Fassbender's a lot more Irish sounding compared to the rest of the film, but particularly the line where he says, "I can feel the guns moving on the water," is very Irish, and it's just like, Wait, hold on.
Fair
You're a German guy a second ago. Yeah. I do think that I just really like that film, and I think it's very underrated for stuff like that.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Tied it well to the two of them.
And there you go.
Actually, a lot of superhero films do that quite well. Captain America: Winter Soldier does that well as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what?
It takes the good parts of the story. It doesn't try to forcibly make it like 70 years of... That might be a bit dramatic. Like, no, maybe like 50 at least. 50, 60 years worth of comic books. And try to cram them all together and make a film that's about all of it. They're just like, no, we're just going to pick the bits that make sense and make a film.
Do you know what film does do it terribly and it's still a really bad film? Fantastic Four. They overdo the CGI. They overdo the...
Which one are you talking about?
The first two were terrible.
The Jessica Alba ones.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah.
And like the only bits of action they did,
I think
overdone.
The problems with those were that they were trying to be too funny.
There was a lot. I don't know what they were trying to be.
I felt like they didn't know how to make a superhero film at the time.
They didn't.
Because there was nothing cool about it. It was all very... a bit cheesy.
It was horrible.
It wasn't good.
Horrible.
I do want to see the one that everyone slagged off, the newest version of it, where they're all a bit too young.
Okay.
I'd want to watch that.
Fair enough.
Partially because it's supposedly shit.
Well,
It's a fun afternoon. You know what they do need to remake, though?
what?
The Ginger Dead Man. We get Gary Busey back. We make a sequel. I know they already made a sequel. There was a second Ginger Dead Man film. I know that's what you're thinking. You're looking at me with a face of, but they made a sequel. But it didn't have Gary Busey in it. So to my mind, doesn't count.
They made two of these films.
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
Fucking hell.
There's a lot of like wonderful shit costume killer films. There's also the film Jack Frost. That's the class one. He was a killer snowman.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that.
I mean, like, that's really easy to
Those are the
defeat,
kind of
though,
films where they could do it in CGI, but it would have been terrible if they did it in CGI.
A killer snowman is
Guy in
really,
a costume's
really shit. You get him inside, he's fucking useless, isn't he?
But when he melts, he's just water. Then he just reforms and comes back after you.
Is this what happens?
Yeah.
So, but okay, what if he evaporates?
He's just a cloud, and then he comes back again.
Okay, so
he can't be killed. He's water.
He's in a room, right? He's in a room, right? Right. He's evaporated.
Mm.
You mop him up.
Yep.
Yeah. Squeeze him into the fin.
Yeah.
Pour him into the fin. Sink. He's in the sewers now.
He'll just come back out of the sewers.
But I mean, like,
With an army of gators.
okay.
You know how you do kill him?
What?
Spoilers for the film.
Go on.
Watch your buns.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Antifreeze.
How?
Because it's a shit film. What are you on about? Because it's a shit film. He's made of fucking ice, so the only way to kill him is antifreeze. You want to know how he realises that antifreeze will kill him? Because his son makes him like a bag of trail mix that for some reason he accidentally put antifreeze into, and the dad's like, whoa, that could have killed me. And then he's like, let's fill the back of a pickup truck with antifreeze and melt this fucker.
Wow.
And to be fair, at the end of it, I don't think he's even dead. I think there was the potential for a sequel.
Okay. So he's just.
But yeah, there is a genuinely very weird scene where he goes to eat this bag of like a trail mix or just like a bag of pretzels or whatever.
And he's got
some like American snack food that people put in baggies. And it was like,
wait,
why has that got antifreeze in it?
His son tried to kill him.
His son essentially nearly killed him. The film could have ended with, oh no, there's a killer snowman. The one person that could save us has been killed by his like 8-year-old son who put antifreeze into a bag of trail mix.
Wow.
Mate.
Yeah, sounds like
I'm thinking we reshoot the film with an alternate ending.
What, as in the kid?
We go a bit like the Inferno adaptation.
Yeah,
and instead of him realising that, instead of him not eating the trail mix and going, oh yeah, antifreeze, he just eats the trail mix, dies, and then the snowman kills his son and everyone else.
That is so tragic.
Yeah.
Whoa, man.
Bleak.
Whoa.
How's that for Christmas?
Could that be his tagline?
That's the tagline.
That's got to be the tagline.
The tagline for the film is Jack Frost. How's that for Christmas?
oh no.
That's for like an evil Santa Claus film. Oh no.
Oh god. Oh.
Let's wrap it up there then. Have you got any shout outs?
I want to shout out people who do things well.
Great.
No, as in like actual good adaptations. So from
is there a
from
particular
memory,
adaptation?
Well, I mean, apart from Fight Club, there's another. Oh, right. This is a book from my childhood that I really enjoyed the film for. It's The Indian in the Cupboard.
Mm.
film.
No, I know other people that have talked about that very fondly.
Good film, great book.
Like when they were kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a series as well, and very well done. You know.
I'm going to shout out something that's not an adaptation. This is maybe a timely one, but not really, because like we were saying, this is something that's out in cinemas now,
Okay.
but will still be good if you watch it wherever. Baby Driver, the new Edgar Wright film, is
it's so good.
fantastic.
So good. I haven't seen it, but it's so good.
Everything about it is like
Such a good film.
It's like oozing with style, and it's just like it's basically like, maybe it's not your thing, but you cannot deny it's basically a perfectly made film. Everything that it wants to be, it is.
Yeah.
It's
So
so good.
It is so
and
good.
the characters are so good.
Yeah.
John Hamm is fantastic.
You know what? Jamie Foxx scared me there. There was a second,
Jamie Foxx is amazing, and I was like,
It was no.
I don't want to spoil the film, but there's a point where you're like, Jamie Foxx is going to be the best character in this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh no, wait, John Hamm is the best character in this
yeah.
and in anything I've seen for ages.
Yeah. Great. John Hamm being the kid, right?
No. Ansel Elgort is the kid. No, John Hamm is Buddy. The like slick, very American.
Yeah. You think he's the best one in that?
Oh, he's just he's so good.
Okay.
His
was really
performance
good. It was
is like
really
so
good.
good.
It
The whole
was really
film
good.
is beautifully done.
No, it is really
That's
good
like-
film. Really good film.
That's like such a high
do you
level
know
of
what?
direction as well, because he timed the film. Did you know that before he made the film, he made like animatics of the entire film to work out exact timing to fit with the music before they shot anything, and they did more like takes for the timing than anything else, because it had to be perfectly to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So
He's
good.
done well with that. He's done really well with it, and it was good for reasons I didn't think. You know, like I kind of went there thinking, be good characters.
There's so much more to it as well.
And it wasn't. Like, I went there for the comic value. I can't lie. I thought I'll go to this film. It's going to be a good laugh, and it'll be.
It's going to be like actiony, and there's going to be, because Edgar Wright's known for being funny. Yeah. For directing funnier films, you expect that to be part of it. There are bits that are funny in it,
Jamie
but that's
Foxx
not
is
the main thing.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not so much more. The depth of it was great.
Every character in it is so well done, and
Really
every
well done.
performance in it is so well done as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, really go and see it at the cinema. It's definitely worth seeing at the cinema.
Definitely.
But if not, it's definitely worth watching at home regardless.
Yeah.
I just think it's a film that's worth watching.
Yeah.
So good.
Good shout.
Have you got a question of the day? Question of the day: why haven't you watched Baby Driver yet?
No. I was trying to bring it back. So, it's not so much books. I don't want it to be a book. If there's any story,
Is it going to be
that you want adapted?
want to be? That's actually about. I was going to say, what's your favourite adaptation? This is a better
No,
question.
what-
What is the thing you want to be adapted to something else?
Yeah.
That's a much better question.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
could be anything,
it doesn't have to.
mocktails
It
or-
doesn't have to be from anything, and it doesn't have to be to a certain thing. Like, it doesn't have to be book to film. Like, there are great adaptations of like The Wolf Among Us, the Telltale game, which is based on a comic books called Fable that I'm reading at the moment. It's
cool.
very, very good comics.
Cool.
The game was really good as well. But comics to game, that works as well. Any story like that. So, what's the story that you want to see adapted into something else?
To what? Yeah, basically.
To a different medium.
There you go.
Good question.
Good day.
I'm feeling it. Social plugs for you?
No sockets.
Hey. It's going to keep coming back, isn't it? It's what you're going to say every time you can't remember what you're...
Stay plugged in! Right, sorry. Mr. Souls on everything apart from YouTube, where it's Mrs. SG Souls. I'm joking. It's Mr. SG Souls
Mrs. G
or
Souls.
Mrs. G Souls.
Yes.
But yeah, there you go.
And if you want to hear more from me, you can go on YouTube and search Renegade Pineapple, where I do
fruit.
Let's Plays. Yes. Renegade, like an uprising pineapple, like a Hawaiian fruit.
Well, Renegade, like the song by Eminem and Jay-Z, which is fucking fire.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Don't
There you
know
go.
that I know the song, to be honest.
Ah, that's good. It's basically a freestyle, actually.
I do like Let's Play, so playing games and stuff like that on YouTube. You can go and watch some of that. And for this podcast, you can go on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, where you can listen to it. Or if it's on YouTube, you can watch our special episodes every now and then when we draw stuff along with what we're doing. You can go on iTunes, you can give us a review on there. Subscribe everywhere, comment everywhere, like everything in the world that's to do with us, not to do with anyone else. Favour us. Facebook and Instagram. Almost everything is just AWWOT podcast. The Instagram is a wonderful waste of time.
Oh.
As the full thing.
A what?
Oh, what? That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time when we'll be doing a top 5 list of something. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, 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 bye.
It's a wonderful waste of time.